and welcome back to week 16 of America the Beautiful.
Week 16.
We are not the smartest league because we think it's a good idea to play week 17. But
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's going to be the last. This is going to be the last of it.
Yeah.
I'm cutting it out.
I mean, it can ruin your team.
It could, yeah. Just ask Brian Bumgarner starting Joe Webb last week in week 17. All right, well, we haven't been with you guys for a couple weeks. We had Christmas parties,
Events.
apocalypse preparation.
Right. It's right around the corner.
Hopefully the world doesn't end tomorrow so you guys can see this.
Right. This won't even matter if the world ends tomorrow,
Yeah.
so let's hope that it doesn't.
So, we'll go back from week 14, the last week before the playoffs started, and tell you what happened. Suck My Peterson defeated King of the Castle. Below Me defeated It's My Vic in a Box. Haters Gonna Hate defeated Bills 12. The Replacements defeated One Man Wolfpack. Come On Man defeated Jukies. Rumpelstiltskins defeated Multiple Gorgasms. Johnny Cashews defeated Green Bowl Packers. And then the beatdown of the week, his fourth beatdown this season, Mr. Shane Gardner, not the Bang, gave the beatdown on Blame It on the Henny.
Dude, slaying it.
He almost made all his money back via beatdowns.
Just by beatdowns, he almost got his money back.
I don't want to be a spoiler, but he's not getting any more money back. So that's what happened last week. So that kind of sets our playoff matchups. We had our predictions who was going to go in the playoffs because there's 9 teams that had a chance to get in. There's going to be the odd man out. So let's just read off our top 8, and then you can kind of figure out what was what. Number 1 seed, he was the 3 seed going into the last week. The number 1 seed, number 2 seed, both lost. He tied them, got the points, jumped ahead. The Replacements, 2 years in a row winning the regular season, Mr. Curtis Baird. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Curtis.
Our number 2 seed, Multiple Gorgasms. Number 3, Not the Bang. Number 4, King of the Castle. Number 5, Suck My Peterson. 6, Come On Man. Number 7, Below Me, who was a 9 seed the week before and came in. And number 8, the Green Bowl Packers. So that leaves you at our playoff matchups. Our bottom 8. Jukies didn't make it in.
Didn't make it.
She put up 60 points in the last week. When you need to make it in, it's...
What can you do?
So...
With those kind of numbers, you're just not going to make it in.
No. The rest of our bottom 8, last year's champ, not even giving himself a chance to defend the title in the playoffs, was Bills 12.
Yep.
Number 11, Haters Gonna Hate. I think he jumped up from last year, I think.
You're making improvements.
Yes.
You're headed in the right direction.
Rumpelstiltskins, usually a playoff contender.
Usually. I expect to see him there, and he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to make it this year.
Number 13, you.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it.
We talked about that earlier. This man just had tough matchups every week. The best, worst team, everybody, Mr. Morgan Heath.
Best, worst team ever.
14, another usual playoff contender.
Yeah, especially with some of the players he had on his team.
Yeah.
But it just didn't come together for you this year, Gary.
It's My Vic in a Box. He's going to have the number 3 pick next year. And then, of course, the ones that we've talked about all year, I guess. Next to last, Johnny Cashews. He'll have the number 2 pick next year. And last place, that's what happens when you take Jonathan Stewart in the second round of the draft.
Yeah, that was a little biased.
It's formerly church-bound now. Blame it on the Henny. You're in last. You get the number 1 pick. I guess that's a consolation prize.
That's your consolation prize. You get the number 1 pick.
But this is something we've talked about the upcoming year. The way we do keepers in our league is you get to keep players for 3 years. It's the 3rd-year cycle has come around. So we have Shady, Ray Rice, Arian Foster, Breeze, Brady, Rogers. I think that's about it. There might be one more, but I mean all the big...
The top names that really come in the first round and the beginning of the second round will be there this year.
Yes, so that's what's going to happen. Well, if they're smart.
Yeah, if you're smart, you will go after them.
Yes. So that's our bottom 8, and then we had our playoffs last week.
Playoffs last week. We had King of the Castle beating Suck My Peterson.
In a shitty matchup.
Yeah, when you only score 79 points and win, it's not something to be proud of, but it's something you can certainly
It's like when the
accept.
Jets were winning playoff games.
Exactly. Next, Come On Man beating Not the Bang.
An upset, I think.
Huge upset. I mean, especially since this guy's been laying the beatdowns all year long.
Especially without RG3.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. After that, we got Multiple Gorgasms beating Below Me.
That went to Sunday night. That was a close one.
It's close. It was a high-scoring matchup, 146 to 132.
Yeah.
Two very good teams.
Yes.
And lastly, we have the Green Bowl Packers pulling the upset of the year against the replacements.
The 8 seed defeated the 1 seed. It's happened twice in the past 3 years in our league. Formerly Greg Peterson beating the number 1 seed, Gary, 2 years ago.
You squeaked by with that one, Green Bowl.
It went to Monday night. It went to the defense.
Yeah.
And that's just... Replacements had a good team. He was one of the scariest teams all year.
Yeah.
With AP and Peyton Manning as your first 2 draft picks. He gets credit for taking those 2 guys as his first 2 draft picks.
Yeah. He showed a lot of faith in them, and it paid off for him because he won this year. He won the regular season.
Won the
regular season.
Yeah, so he's made his money back.
Yeah, so good work, replacements.
Yes. All right, so that's what happened last week. There's 4 teams left. There's obviously only 2 matchups that we really need to talk about. There's 2 other matchups. Somebody's going to get in the 3rd place game. So, but what it is. So let's go and jump into our first matchup. You want to go ahead and take the first one?
Sure. I've got an interesting matchup that involves the Commish and the Green Bowl Packers. Commish, the reason I like your team this week...
I'm glad you do.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I do. You picked up a fellow by the name of Leonard Hankerson, who's basically come into his own as a receiver as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
And his hands, he's found his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most crucial thing as a receiver, is your hands.
Oh, yes.
So I look for this guy to score big points this week, especially against a abominable Philadelphia team.
Yeah, they're giving up a lot of points.
Jamal Charles against Indianapolis, I think that's a great matchup.
I
think he's going to get some serious real estate out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Jimmy Graham is a great matchup against anybody.
Yes.
Now, with the Green Bowl Packers, the thing that I don't like, while I do like his team, I don't like his matchups this week. You've got some very scary matchups this week, and I think that the Denver defense is going to give Trent Richardson just a heck of a time. I think that basically anybody on the Dallas Cowboys playing a very, very feisty New Orleans defense right now should be scared. And for that reason alone, because of the matchups, I'm giving the win to King of the Castle.
That's an upset because I'm just happy to make it this far in the playoffs.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'll take the credit.
Barring the world ending tomorrow, this man should win.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on to the next one and our last one. This is a quickie. That's what she said.
Yeah.
All right. Come On Man versus Multiple Gorgasms. Starting with Come On Man. He didn't start RG3 last week, obviously, because he didn't play. Sure. He has Phillip Rivers still in as of right now. I did talk to him previously. He is a game-time decision for who's he going to start. So besides that, his running backs, Forte, with Michael Bush going on the IR this week, it's all Forte.
Right. So
Jacquizz Rodgers, he had 11 carries last week, so he's getting up there. It's starting to even out between him and Turner. So it's a good start. Danny Amendola, he's back to 100%.
Mm-hmm. And he's a critical part of that team.
11 targets last week, and they're going against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gives up the most points to wide receivers.
Which is kind of interesting because in recent years they've been a really tough defense, and they've just sort of fallen apart since Raheem Morris has been dismissed.
They got Shiano, he's a good coach. I mean, I think they're a decent team.
I think they're buying into a new philosophy.
Yes. Back to the Rivers thing, actually. I'm sorry. Malcolm Floyd has also got put on the IR this week.
Right.
So, and also for you guys, Brian Matthews is obviously on the IR this week too. So, all right. So with that said, on to Multiple Gorgasms. Reggie Bush, Daniel Thomas is now on the IR too. So more Reggie Bush.
Sure.
Frank Gore is going up to Seattle. I think it's going to be one great game Sunday night.
Absolutely.
Last time they played, Frank Gore got 182 yards. That's a big deal going against Seattle's defense.
That is a huge deal going against Seattle's defense, and keep in mind too that was with Alex Smith at quarterback.
True.
You know that's without the threat of Kaepernick.
Yes. So I mean, yeah. Andy Dalton, I'm not big on this week, just because last time they played Pittsburgh, he had about a little over 100 yards, and that was in Cincinnati. They're in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Pittsburgh seems to have Cincinnati's number.
Yes.
It's a scary matchup.
So with all that said, I gotta take Camon, man. I just think his team is hitting its stride at the right time in the playoffs.
Well, you can't go wrong with getting a whole bunch of Matt Forte thrown in your direction.
Yes.
At this time of year.
Yes.
Yeah, that only benefits you. So.
Yes. I go back to Gorgasms. Of course, you guys know he does have Megatron, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, the 2 wide receivers. And to back up my point against Camon, man, Demaryius Thomas is going to be covered by Joe Hayden. And I feel like the Browns' defense is on the up. They did lose to the Redskins last week. Before that, they won 5 of 8.
Yeah.
So I feel like that team it's kind of coming around. There's still a chance they're finding their head coach, but and it is in Denver, but I mean, I can see Decker put up points. Demaryius Thomas, not so much. We'll see. And Megatron is going to put up some points against Atlanta, but Detroit is just such a. They shit the bed this year, man.
They're hit and miss. You know.
Yeah, they're 4-9, 4-10.
Some weeks they look like a contender, and then some weeks they look like the Jets.
And then you lose to the Cardinals last week, who lost 9 games in a row previously.
Exactly. So
yeah, it is. I'm just calling upset. You're calling upset. I'm calling upset.
Upset special.
And the championship coming from these 2 guys. You got Camon Man versus King of the Castle.
That's what we think. If the world's still here, we'll see if it's true.
So hopefully you guys will watch this. We're done. We're gonna try to be back next week.
Yeah.
Preparing an apocalypse.
Yeah. If not, we'll just film from our bunker. So hopefully we'll be able to get the word out to you.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Good night, America.